Hi everyone, today we're going to make Chinese pancakes. Those lovely scallion pancakes that are on the appetizer menu of all your favorite restaurants. And they look so pretty and they taste so good. They gotta be tough to make, right? Nah. Really easy. So, we got 2 cups of bread flour. I'm going to put in a teaspoon and a half of salt. Alright, we got that there. Mix together these dry ingredients a little bit. Now to that, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of boiling hot water. And we put hot in there because we're actually going to kind of cook the dough a little bit, cook the flour out a little bit now. Because this never actually bakes, all it ever does is fry in our pan a little bit later. Alright, now this is something that you could do in your stand mixer if you like, but this happens so quick, I just don't want to really have another thing to have to clean up. So I'm going to bring it together. I want the dough to be somewhat sticky. And right now it's very, very tight, so I'm going to add a little bit more water to it. Hot water. Just going to add like a palmful at a time. And knead together till I have my flour incorporated. We want this to be sticky. Because the stickier they are, the better the layers will form later. And it'll be nice and flaky when we go to eat it. So once you have the semblance of a dough, it looks kind of like this. Turn it onto a surface and give it a knead. We don't have to go crazy here, but we do want to have one pretty solid dough. Now we have a relatively uniform ball of dough. We're going to wrap this up nice and tight and let it rest in the fridge a minimum of 2 hours, all the way up to overnight. Alright, so I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so we're back to continue working on our scallion pancake. One thing that we need to do is make a little roux. I have a couple tablespoons of oil. Add some flour to it, just about the same amount, but a little bit less than you usually would. And just let that cook for a minute to get that rawness flavor out. So I have this all the way down low. I start with a hot pan. Let that go for a minute. Now we're going to need some scallions. So I have 3 scallions here. I'm going to trim off the less attractive leaves. And then finely chop these. don't want to get too far down in the tough ends. Alright, we'll hang on to them for later. Have our dough here. It's rested for a couple hours. Grab it out of our plastic. And we're going to split it in half. Alright, we're going to flour our work surface here. And what we want to do is roll this out and try to lengthen it. Don't want to incorporate too much flour, so I move some of it off to the side. Now that we have it longer, I'm going to start to flatten it out. And elongate it further. And ultimately, the thinner we get this to be, the more layers our pancake will have. Turn it over, roll it from the other side. Alright, once we have this rolled out, we're going to take our roux mixture here and give it a little brush. This will do, it's going to ensure that we end up with multiple layers on the inside of this and not just one big ball, one big flat pancake. It's going to end up being a little bit flaky, almost like a puff pastry, sort of. Alright, now that we got that, we're going to add our scallions in. Green onions if you like. You want to get them all the way through there, but not all the way up to the edge, because we're going to want to have something to seal it up with. And now you can add some different flavors here if you want. Now you can add some different flavors here if you want. I'm going to add some chili garlic sauce. Just a couple bits of that in there. You could put mushrooms. You could put, I think serrano chilies would be really awesome. But that's what I'm gonna do. I have my cast iron here, which I have warmed all the way up. So we're starting in the hot pan. I'm gonna put about a good teaspoon of oil into it. What we're going to do here with our pancake is we're just going to start rolling it up. One end to the other, like we're rolling up a jelly roll. And you just fold it underneath. And by getting the onions in there, that's going to create our different layers. And those layers are going to be protected by that oil mixture we put in. Now that we have one long snake here, we're going to coil it up. And you take the last little bit and you tuck it underneath and give it a good mash. Now we're going to roll it out with our rolling pin. And you're going to have lots of crunching, and in my case some explosive chili garlic sauce. Don't worry about that. This may not be the one that makes the show. And we're going to lift that and put that into our heated and oiled cast iron pan. First time I tried to put a filling into it, so first one I did came out a little cleaner than that, but I think it's still going to taste really good. So we're going to let that fry a couple minutes on either side. In the meantime, that's going to want some sauce. So I have here some soy sauce. I'm going to add some of the chili garlic sauce. About a half teaspoon of hoisin sauce. And about half a teaspoon of pureed ginger. And that's going to be my dipping sauce for this. Alright, it's been a couple minutes on the first side. Let's give it a flip. There we go. Got some nice little browning at the edges. And if you look really close here, you see little bubbles forming. That's where we're getting our layers. Take a peek. Still needs another minute on that side. I got this on about medium heat. I started with a hot pan. Just remember, especially when you're frying stuff like this, cooking is chemistry, so the chemical reaction between the oil and the flour, that all happens at a certain temperature. And if you reduce that temperature, or if you start in a cold pan, you're going to have a different result. That's what makes cooking with cast iron so great. It's good and heavy, and it really retains that heat. Okay, I'll give that a flip, and that is starting to look fabulous. And keep on frying that for a couple more minutes. I think so. I'm going to take that off the heat. Just give it a slice with our knife. And nice bite-sized pieces. Ready to serve. Look at all those beautiful light flaky layers. You can see how all that developed in there. So there is a scallion pancake. Yeah. So there is a scallion pancake. Easy to make. Ingredients you probably already have. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.